All right, welcome everyone. Thanks for joining us. And today we have a very special live stream. Obviously, we've been doing this for several weeks now, and you can see the full catalog on LinkedIn and YouTube and wherever else you find us. So glad to have you here today. Rather than having one of our engineering team members, we have the great fortune of having Chris Nako from our product team. Welcome, Chris.
Thanks for having me on, Emmett. Excited to be here.
Outstanding. And usually behind the scenes, but today we have, as part of our developer community, Nimit here as well. So welcome, Nimit.
Thank you, Ahmed, for having me here.
Absolutely. And what I want to tell people is that normally we're talking about something that has to do with fine-tuning, post-training, workflow engine, identity, all the components that make up a great AI platform, horizontally speaking. But today we actually talk about the surface, and we have a very exciting week ahead of us because we have just this week announced Computer, which is a complete rebrand of our product, and it is a new way to work effectively. And we are reimagining a great many things. This is in beta now, and I would suggest everybody take a look at the launch video. It's available on YouTube. So quick urge there. And Nimit, typically I'm the one asking people to join us on Discord, but maybe you can make that plea today.
I would love folks to join our Discord community. We have been doing some amazing events there, and we would love people to participate, ask questions, more questions about Computer, questions about our product, workflows, agents. And we'll be doing more workshops and sessions on Discord. So please join in.
Outstanding. And so the main topic today is Computer, and to show us Computer and really show us how we can use Computer and also get an invite to start using Computer within our teams and our enterprise is Chris. So Chris, maybe you can share some thoughts and we can begin with our demo.
Well, it's been a busy week, that's for sure. It's been a lot of fun. A lot of charged excitement getting everything across the line. And perhaps starting from like the very top was when we first coming up with what did Computer need to be, is thinking how do we make this a fun and joyful experience for our users, not just sort of like another tool or interface of drudgery, let's say. And so why don't I go ahead and pull it up and sort of show you a little bit of what that actually means to what does fun and excitement actually look like. So I'll go ahead and open it. And I'm opening it for the first time only because I want to show some of the little animations.
Okay. And now you're showing it to us on a PC, and of course it's available really wherever you are. So you can actually download the desktop app if you're on a Mac as well. And there's other places where you're going to be able to meet and integrate with Computer. But here we're going to see it on a PC for today. I don't know.
I get no shortage of hard time for still being on a Windows machine compared to everyone else running around on a Mac at work.
No, for sure. I mean, we need at least one person to test it on Windows, right? So I kid. But
exactly.
Now we've got a desktop. It looks like a little space bar. What are we looking at here?
Yeah, so for those who are paying close attention, there are lots of little micro animations that we have spent time in investing in. So just like the little Computer logo, how it sort of blinks at you or that sort of thing. And it sort of sits here on the left. And all of this is to sort of add a little bit of lightheartedness to what's going on. And if I even just start to type a little bit, you'll start to see there's a lot of little micro animations that will trigger off as well. So if I just put anything in, you can see we've started to use much more bold colors, expressive colors, and really to just give a very sort of seamless, fast experience for our end customers.
Yeah, what I love about it is the fact that, first of all, you've got the splash of color, and you can start to see that there's additional tools that start to appear on the right-hand side as you start engaging with the spacebar, and most importantly, as you start typing, it'll immediately start suggesting to you some search answers that can help you. And if that's exactly what you're looking for, you can just click on it and get to work. And if you actually want a conversational response, then you can press enter and actually get some real detailed responses.
Yeah, exactly. So why don't we go ahead and do that?
Okay. And so just for everybody's benefit, what do we type here?
I just did something very basic, very easy at the moment, just to pull my issues for the last 30 days.
Okay. And what's really interesting is, that's what came to your mind. We were actually just talking amongst one another, like, what are the questions that people start with? Sometimes people say, what does my day look like? And it's going to be some amalgamation of issues that have a target date that's upcoming, or tickets that have a target date upcoming, or maybe opportunities. Some of it might be customer visits if you're in field sales. Sometimes it's just, it describes to you what your meetings look like for the rest of the day. And I know a lot of people who are in finance who are wanting to summarize opportunities and provide sort of, the days in each stage for each opportunity. Or, for people like me, it's more about what are the primary concerns that we have on a specific effort that we have, maybe an enhancement, maybe a feature, and it'll actually look at all the bugs, or it'll look at the incidents. It might even look at the tickets that customers have filed in that specific area and give me a nice summary. I might even ask about a specific customer if I'm going to go meet one. But it's really fascinating to see what people want to know. What's going on in this area? What kind of work should I do here? Or based on what this person's working on, how should I approach them with my ask? A lot of really interesting questions have been coming out, and it's fascinating to see how people use it.
Yeah, Emma, do you think we should just go through a few of those, just sort of show how either you or I use it, but also like some of the ways we've seen other people use computer?
Yeah, absolutely. Let's do it.
Yeah. So why don't I? One of the fun ones that we were talking about. So I'm going to prep an email for you. To send to Ahmed.
Okay.
Helps if I can spell the.
All right. And Nimit, while this is going on, just talk about your usage, because I know you've got your hands in a lot of pots, right? You're talking to a lot of people cross functionally. You're engaging with the community. How has it helped you sort of organize your work, or maybe access what's going on within the enterprise to sort of make sure that you have the right ideas?
Yeah. So I think I'll just start with a bit of context. I feel I've been using a lot of other tools, Recast, Warp, and some amazingly good developer productivity tools. But as soon as we got the alpha access for computer, I have been actually using it a lot to create my guides, to make sure that how my day is going, to plan out my whole day, to plan out the issues that I'm going to take up this week, to prioritize the issues throughout the week. uh, Also, like to quickly just summarize maybe a topic that is available. So recently I just wanted to share a brief summary about a particular topic in Snap-ins, and I was just quickly able to pull that up with the help of computer, because it already had the context about operations that I wanted to share. And that's how I've been using computer to make sure that I can share the right valuable resources back to the community. And as soon as this tool would be available to the community, I think we'll get more and more traction and more amazing questions from them too. So very excited for this.
Absolutely. Chris, it looks like you got a response back. You want to walk us through that?
Well, yeah. So you might have noticed that it picked up, Ahmed, that you have been doing a lot of work on live streams and content initiatives, and was able to pick that out from a lot of the work and issues you've got going on in DevRev, and computer pulled those out and was able to therefore incorporate them in the draft email that I have put together for you.
Outstanding. You're going to send that out to me, I imagine.
Exactly.
Okay, so I'm sure we'll look at another example, but the word context just came up a couple of times with both what you said, Chris, and what Nimit mentioned. And I think that's the real key, as we kind of transition into really going deep into context engineering. I'm hearing this from customers. I'm hearing this from prospects. It's about getting a ChatGPT-like experience, but one that really understands your work, your customer, your product, and being able to triangulate between those three things. And I think that that's what we've done really effectively here, is given people something that's delightful, conversational, useful, but also very actionable. And it's informed by not just structured information, but also the unstructured information, or vice versa. So not only are you able to bring information about what issues I'm working on or what my calendar looks like, remember, you're able to synthesize that information together, contextualize it within what I do in my role. And that's the real valuable part. And of course, between that and being able to honor access permissions, you've got a very powerful tool. Now, is there another example you want to show us here? I know that at some point, we also want to show people how we bring this information in. And at some point, I think before the end of this, we definitely want to show that to folks so they know how to get started. But are there a couple of other examples you want to show here to kind of maybe demonstrate what Computer is capable of?
Yeah, what would be a good one? We could do I, as a product manager, am always often looking for what's going on in certain areas in the product. The sales often want to have an accurate understanding of where certain feature requests are so they can communicate effectively to the customer. Let me put something in. Just got to focus on typing.
While you're typing that, what's really fascinating, I can't tell you how many times, if I'm in back-to-back meetings and whatnot, or even if I'm visiting a customer site, as soon as I get there, I'll tether using my hotspot, and I'll go straight to what's the latest on, and then I'll sort of mention the name of the company, and it'll give me a breakdown. And one of the cool things that I like to do is say, have I met any of the people in this meeting before? Because it's one thing when you're having internal conversations, but oftentimes I'm in conversations with leaders from different companies, and it may have been 3, 4, 5 weeks since the last time I met them, and often I'm not even in my home state. I'm traveling for these conversations, and so just being able to say what's the latest on this company, that's one thing, and then I'll often follow up by saying, have I met any of the people in this upcoming meeting before? And it'll actually tell me in what context I have attended meetings with them and what the dialogue was based on the transcript and all that. And it's super important because now I can go into that conversation. And if somebody, asks me, hey, listen, we've met before, I absolutely remember, hey, listen, yeah, that's right. We met the last time we met for this conversation. And I'm happy that we're having this follow-up. So it's just the little things that make a huge difference. And of course, being able to wake up in the morning and say, what are the top 3 things I need to look at for the rest of the week? So if I'm on a Thursday and I don't want to take it all the way to Friday afternoon to figure out what I missed, and I just want to say, hey, listen, what are the top 3 things I need to close out to have a good week? That's my question. And to be able to have an answer that's backed by not just my calendar, but my issues, my tickets, people, and what they're asking me for, dialogue that's happening within the system, maybe even within other systems outside of our system, that's super valuable.
That makes a lot of sense. So if I go through and look at this particular one, I accidentally stumbled across a challenging situation for it, and I can sort of talk through some of the interesting challenges here, which was I asked for an update on the today's message. And at first, it got a little confused in whether I was talking about something which is just like about today and whether there was some specific message. But then I eventually clarified and was like, no, the feature called the today message. And it was able to pull it up and tell me what was going on.
Absolutely.
The curious challenge here that we face when we bring in that structured and unstructured data that you're mentioning, Ahmed, is making sure that we're providing all of the context that is appropriate so that the LLM can actually make heads and tails of what we've given it. If you don't actually explain at any point, today message is a feature. Like if it never gets that information, like could very rightfully believe that today message just actually means messages for today. Like
right.
That's a pretty logical, false assumption. And so one of the big challenges of bringing all this data in is how do you make sure that how do you have that context available for it? Because someone isn't necessarily sitting over behind its shoulder correcting these mistakes or misunderstandings as you go along. Yeah.
And I think today's message is a particularly interesting use case, right? Because it's perfectly reasonable for us to, parse today's message as the message that was shared today, right? Or maybe just the message that we just shared just before this message today. And so I think that's pretty reasonable. And to be able to qualify that by talking about a specific feature or enhancement, I think that seems pretty reasonable to me. I mean, obviously, there's a lot of work. This is a beta feature right now. So to be able to continue to put a lot of effort into name entity recognition so that we know that there is such a bigram called today's message that happens to be an enhancement that we're working on. I think it figured it out pretty quickly, but I think like these are very subtle points. I mean, there's going to be a few of these types of things that we're going to have to iron out over the next several weeks and months. But I'm often very surprised at how little context I have to provide sort of in my prompt before it actually understands what I'm actually talking about.
Yeah, no, I find the same thing. The what's it called? To like give another rapid example before we move on and talk about how we bring some of this data in. Let's see how does computer compare to ChatGPT?
Okay.
So this is actually one of the things I often use. What's it called? Computer for, which is actually about computer in the sense of like as we've been putting a lot of the like terminology, a lot of the giving it that personality. How do I reflect the copy that we're generating? How do I recycle that and generate, let's say, like one-liners for computer? And so this is honestly like my go-to like marketing expert, honestly, half the time.
Yep. What I like about it is also, and I don't think we highlighted it at least until now, is the fact that you can see what the thinking trace looks like to begin with. And that's not just a way to build confidence. And I know we're enhancing that, but that's not just a way to create more confidence and conviction in the answer, but it's also a really great way to reinforce how people learn more about the way computer behaves, right? Because you start to learn trends and patterns in terms of how computer wants to lean into the information that you've brought into the system in order to help answer your question. And so I think it really starts to reinforce better understanding. It's almost like training on the go. It's a product that actually you get better at using as you use it, which is, I think, a hallmark of a great product. You don't need a huge training manual, but as you use the product, you get better. And then, of course, if you scroll down, Chris, you've obviously got the actions that you can take. And that's a really nice way of kind of making sure that, you can kind of continue the conversation without having to keep typing. And, I'm imagining that, at some point we're going to introduce voice and other things as well, so people can look forward to that. Nimit, do we have any questions on the chat that we need to look at?
I think we have Brandon commenting on human to human communication has moments like this too. So chat is open for questions. Folks, if you have any questions about computer, if you want us to prompt something, we would love to do that. And
that would be good. Actually, if you have any prompts that you want Chris to try out while we're on this live stream, please let us know. Chris, you said you wanted to show us how we bring this information into the system, whether it's a connector to, I don't know, Google Suite or Notion or whatever it is. Is there one particular connector that you can maybe just show us how to set up live?
Yeah, let's talk about it. So it's hard to bring in data from both structured and unstructured, and so we wanted to try and make sure that was very easy for users to do. So we have quite a few that we have on offer, and we're adding about almost 4 every week. We've got like Drive, Calendar, Jira, just to name a few. But why don't I go in and we'll add one specifically Notion for us, and can touch on a couple of the complexities that we see as part of building these structured and unstructured connectors, and pull some data in and see what we can do with that.
Yeah.
So here, this page is actually from Notion. So they actually tell us you have to choose which pages you pull in. Actually, one of the challenges that we actually have. Okay, so we're going to add this guy here. Looks like it's already added. And then we're going to go ahead and allow access. And so one of the challenges, for example, is like Notion make you pick and choose exactly which page you want to bring in, which I don't know about you, but I have a lot of pages in my Notion. And so how do we make that easy for users, given the Notion's running their integrations a little bit different than how Google Drive are running theirs and how Calendar has theirs. They're all sort of configured a little bit differently. But how do we make a single experience for a customer or for a user? So we can see that we've gone ahead and added it. It's pretty straightforward, generally speaking. And then let's jump across and now see if we can ask a few questions. Now that it's
Before we ask the question, just because, I think, and just to be very clear, that Notion integration, it's already done. It's already connected now.
correct. So it's looks like it might have one or two left to bring in, but it brings it in relatively quickly so that a user can get going straight away.
I love it. And can we actually go to Notion, because obviously you clicked on a couple of things there, but can we maybe go to Notion and just see what document it is that you actually, or documents that you brought in, just so we can maybe ask the question and feel like we know behind the scenes what we're actually looking at.
So I pulled up the first, like the original document that was scoping out what was going to be computer. So this was written way back. It was sort of like this was the original Michael, who I report to. This was his document of sharing it around the team, being like, hey, what do you think about this? It wasn't even called computer at that point in time. It was just Project HP. So it has a lot of just like, how do we want to think about launch? Like, what is computer going to be? Like, how's it going to be differentiated? Like, what about PLG? You can sort of just see all of the topics that we started just to sort of build out what do we want our launch metrics to be, these type of things. So this is the document that I've
okay. And is there maybe a specific subsection for which we want to maybe choose a question to ask and see how well we do?
Well, yeah, why don't we do what's it called? Let's pull something out about launch metrics. Where did those go?
Okay.
I had them. There we go. Here we go. So
I thought you were going to say budget allocation.
I wonder what is in our budget allocation. Anyway. Okay, yeah, let's look at the launch metrics and start there. Okay, so we're going to come back. The launch metrics. So you can actually see the document here.
Oh, wow.
So if I actually wanted to just navigate to it, you can see that I could just pull it up right there.
Yeah. Actually, maybe that wouldn't have been half bad to show how we can navigate to it, because it's one thing to have a conversational experience, but to be able to actually see and click on that link, that would have been pretty cool. Actually, maybe we do that at some later point. But we can see here that, can you just read out what the question is that you asked exactly?
So I just very basically just asked it to tell me about the launch metrics in Project HP. And you can see that it's giving basically a rundown of all of the metrics. And what we actually didn't even notice when we were looking through that document, which is actually part of the power of what we have in computer, is there was actually a second section on that page. I don't know if anyone noticed, because I didn't notice when I was looking through it, but there's actually two sections. And now I have these two slightly different versions of what the metrics should be, and I can actually make heads or tails of which one do I need to rely on. I can't, accidentally reference the old metrics, mistakenly not realizing there are more up-to-date ones. And this is part of the power of having everything at your fingertips. If you don't know what you don't know, then it pulling out things that you might not be aware of allows you to make the right decision as when you're preparing work product.
And what about the citations? I mean, the fact that it's not just plain text. A lot of the stuff that it's sharing, you can actually click right into it, right?
Yeah. So you can see here, if I click here on the citation, it would go ahead and it'll open it up. And so it's opened it up here. So that's the citations. Kind of to your comment earlier, I meant around how we could just use this for a quick search as well. So if I just pulled, might have to start a new session, because now that we're in conversation mode, it works a little bit differently. But if I started a new one and opened up Project HP, you'll see it pop up, and we can open it up that way too. So there's lots of ways that you can quickly jump into the source material to find what computers relying on.
Yeah, and I love the fact that, obviously we started off with the desktop experience on computer, but you then shifted us over onto the web as well. So look, again, I'll just reiterate, this is in beta, but four connectors a week. That's amazing. And of course, we've got a full slew. And Nimit, tell us about the marketplace. I mean, we've got a ton of connectors already, correct?
Yeah, we have got a lot of connectors already that we want to add on to computer, and I'm actually excited to share this update with our customers and our partners. I think they also want to start making integrations on our marketplace and also want to add more and more tools and skills to computer. So with respect to that, Chris, what are we planning? How do you think we can engage with our developer community in that terms to make computers marketplace of I mean like a place where people can contribute and yeah.
Yeah, so we've always prioritized at DevRev how to ensure that developers are able to contribute and add to DevRev or Now Computer, so that it's not limited by the speed of doors at the company, but it's actually the whole community that can be really accelerating what's going on here. So there is a whole bunch of whether it's APIs or there's the marketplace that people can actually already build and begin contributing to something like computer, and we have folks that do that already, and the that's probably the best mechanism. There's other littler ways, whether it's just feedback in terms of things that people would really like to see, whether it's capabilities or connectors that they're just wishing for existed. We'd love to see that as feedback to help drive what we focus and prioritize on. And then lastly, is probably another way is just getting hands dirty with the product itself. So we have a waitlist running at the moment, which we're slowly letting people in and to try a computer, and feedback from that is another way that people are able to really help us out.
Yeah, I think we're going to see it on the screen here, but what can people do, Chris, to get access to this?
Yeah, so if you go ahead to the website, there's a waitlist link in there. So if you go to devrev.ai, you'll see a waitlist link.
Can we go there right now and just show it to people visually?
Yeah, so if we go to our website, you'll be able to see the new branding. So we can see that we have computer.
Let's have a look at that video. I'm particularly proud of that video. I don't know. Maybe it's a.
Do we have time, Emmett, to watch it?
We don't have to see the whole thing, just kind of the start of it, like we're seeing it right now. And we've got the wait list up there. I kind of see that, right?
Yeah. So what's it called? Let me go ahead and click on the link. There's another one down here too. Yeah. So this is probably the best place to come and sign up. So if you just sort of scroll halfway down the page, you'll find the wait list.
Okay. I love it. And I think just to add on to what we were talking about in terms of contributing, also remember that we do have now, DevRev has a remote MCP server. And of course, you can use that with whatever your favorite MCP clients are. But that's going to sort of converge with computer as well. So that's a really easy way for you to be able to kind of continue to extend the power of computer. So it's not just through its native capability. It's not just through the fact that we've got this huge marketplace of connectors. It's not just through the fact that we're adding 4 a week. It's also through.
Hold on, I need to just correct this before my team shoot me. 4 every 2 weeks. You have to excuse my mistake.
Oh, come on. Okay. Fair enough. Last statements. We talked about the connectors. We showed people how to do it. It's pretty instantaneous. I got to say, like, you literally brought that Notion connection in a minute. We went to Notion. We came back. You literally wrote like 3 words, and it was already showing you your document. And then, of course, connecting that with the rest of the information. It's pretty remarkable. And like I said, it's for a beta product. That understands the context of your work, your product, your customer, builds those relationships, annotates and enriches the information. And of course, we've got an incredible, semantic search capability. We've got an incredible workflow engine capability, the identity and access management systems that we have at play here. That makes sure that the information that's being connected is only in the hands of the right people, right?
That's it. 100%.
Yeah. Outstanding. So I think we're hitting our 30-minute here. I appreciate everybody who joined us. Any final words, Chris?
Only that we're really excited by everything that we've got going on. Computer has been a labor of love from everyone on the team. And so really appreciate all the hard work that everyone's put in, but also I'm just excited for what we have to come. So stay tuned.
Outstanding. And again, people stay tuned on our YouTube channel. We do this every Thursday. every week. We haven't missed a week since we started. It's all on YouTube, the entire catalog, the archives. We've got live streams that talk about a great many technical topics, and every now and then we get into the product as well. So very excited to be here. And Nimit, maybe one more plug on the Discord side.
Yeah, I would love our customers and partners to come on our Discord, ask more questions about computer. And if you have some innovative idea that you want to try out with computer, please do share with us. We would love to have you in our wait list and would love to see some integrations from your side too. Yeah.
Awesome. Thanks again, Chris. Thanks, Nimit, for joining us today. And thanks for the audience who joined us live. And for free people who want to watch this later on, appreciate your time. And we'll see you next week. Take care.